Just says it was a storm.
Mister! I've got your doll! Mister! I've got your doll!
Hello, welcome to another amazing episode of Popcorn Crushers on Gusto TV. My name is Ima and I'm excited to be your host for today. And today we'll be reviewing the movie called Raising Dion. But before moving forward, I want to say a very big thank you to all of our subscribers. Thank you for watching, thank you for commenting, thank you for liking, and thank you for sharing. And if you are new on this channel, like you're coming across this channel for the first time, make sure to subscribe and make sure to turn on the notification bell so as to know when we drop new content. Moving on, I'm going to be talking about Raising Dion. Now, this movie is about this little kid who just discovered that he had magical powers. Like all of a sudden, he was trying to let his mom know that, Mom, do you know what? I have magical powers. I can do this, I can do that, and all of that. And she was taking him for a joke. She was like, Dion, just stop it. Then until one very fateful day, she was sad. She had lost her husband. She was thinking about all of it, the memories and everything. And Dion was looking for a way to cheer her up. Then he decided to, raise things in the house. He decided to use his mind to make things start moving. And all of a sudden, things were flying. And his mom was scared. Like, she was frightened. She was like, Dion, make it stop. And because he had not been able to control his powers, he had not learned to control and manage the powers, he was not able to stop. He kept on saying, Mommy, I can't stop. Mommy, I can't stop, and everything. So after that incident that night, she became scared. She decided to talk to Dion's godfather, who happens to be her husband's best friend. And it was like, okay, do you know what? Let me try to see if I can coach him. Let me try to see if I can mentor him. And he started trying to use comic book, superhero stories to talk to him, tell him what to do, and all of that. And for a while, it was going pretty well. Now, there was this wristwatch that belonged to Dion's father that the mom gave to him. And she was like, okay, do you know what? Just wear it. Anytime you're scared, just wear it. It's going to help you manage your power. It's going to help you feel more relaxed. So Dion got to school one day and his classmate decided to say, okay, do you know what? Give me your wristwatch. I want to perform some sort of magic, which he agreed and he gave it to her. Then after a while, after the whole magic, Dion was like, okay, do you know what? Just give me back my wristwatch. And he was like, no. And he kept on saying, give me back my wristwatch. And he was like, no. And he got angry. Now, the thing is, remember I said Dion controls things with his mind. And whenever he's upset, this power takes over him. So he was really upset that day. And he just shouted. And some force from somewhere just hit this kid. At the end of the day, Dion was suspended. The mom got worried. And she was like, okay, do you know what? Let's just take a break. Let's go somewhere far. Let's go back to our old house, to relax for a while. Then maybe by the weekend or after the weekend, we'll go back home. But something happened. So the dad loves to fish. So there's this river behind the house where his dad goes to fish. And John was like, okay, do you know what? Let me just try this out, because the dad's best friend, Tom, told him about, the adventure when they go fishing and everything. So Dion was like, okay, Mom, let's just go. Let's go fishing and the rest. And they went. He was trying to catch a fish and nothing was forthcoming. Then he used his mind. Before the fishes were floating. And the mom was like, Dion, stop it. This fish, they need water to survive. Then all of a sudden, water started to come up. And she was like, okay. She was trying to understand what was going on. Then also the tree started to move and there was a storm. He couldn't control it. She kept on shouting, Dion, stop it. Dion, stop it. But he could not. So after that incident, another thing happened that made her to like, okay, do you know what? I need to trace this thing back to my husband. They came out at night and, okay, she heard Dion shouting from the house. He kept on shouting, Mom, come here, Mom, come here. And she ran out. And there was a storm. There were spirits. Dion was seeing people. She was actually seeing those people. Then her husband appeared to her and said, leave here, take Dion, go away from here. It's not safe. She was scared. And Dion was like, oh, Mom, I saw Dad. And besides, Dion has always told his mom that he always told his mom that his dad is a superhero. Like somehow he knew that he got this power from his dad. I don't know where he got that from, but he always knew that he got this power from his dad. That was when the mom said, okay, do you know what? let me connect the dots. Let me trace this thing back to my husband. But before she decided to do that, when her husband died, there was this particular lady that was with the husband. She was the one who saw everything. She was there when he died. She experienced everything. Let me not say he died. He vanished, you know. So at first, she thought maybe her husband was seeing this lady. They had an affair and everything. But after that night, she said, okay, June, let me just see you. You know, she started to summon courage, call the woman. They had a conversation, and the woman was like, you know what? I do not have anything to do with your husband. You know, I'm experiencing the same thing your son is experiencing. And it took me about a year to gather myself. It took me a year to trace back what happened to Iceland. Now, let me take you guys back a little bit. Dion's father went on an adventure in Iceland. That was where the whole thing started from. You know, this woman was there and some other people there too. So after the adventure in Iceland, that was when the whole magic thing started. She said it was immediately she left Iceland. At first, she was confused. She didn't know where the whole thing was coming back, but it took her a year to master the whole thing. It took her a year to master her power, and it took her a year to trace it back to Iceland. And immediately she was able to, you know, trace it back to Iceland and manage her powers. Dion's father reached out to her, and that was why they were meeting secretly, because he really wanted to know what was going on. He really wanted to know what's happening. He really wanted to like do his research and find out the reason why he had these powers. You know, then she now opened up to the woman to say, okay, do you know, my son is experiencing something like this and I need help. I need you to teach him. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. At first she said no, because she was running away, or she was trying to hide from a certain man that Dion calls the crooked man. So she was trying to hide away from this man, and she was like, do you know what? He can get you anywhere that you are. So she was trying to just not be in the face of anybody. But after the whole thing, she was like, okay, do you know what? I'm going to teach him under one condition. Do not tell anybody about me. So at the point when his father was still alive, there was this company that he worked with called Biona. They noticed that Dion had magical power. So they decided to keep tabs on him. They were monitoring him, the things he was doing, where he was going, to the people he was associating with. Actually, I thought that they were after him, they were trying to harm him and all of that. But at the end of season 1, we realized that they were out there to help him. And you know, when this whole thing started, that was when we had to we knew who the mystery man was. We knew who the crooked man, according to Dion, was. There was a whole lot of revelation. Who killed the father, how he died, and all of that. Guys, before I spilled everything on this movie, make sure you go and see. It's a must watch. It's kids friendly. You can see with your family. It's something you need to see. So on the movie, we had actors like Michael B. Jordan as Mark Warren. We had Alisha Wainwright as Nicole, Dion's mom. We had Jason Vita as Path Rollins, Dion's godfather. We had Josiah Young, who happened to be Dion. We have Sammi Haney as Esperanza. Moving on to the direction, the directors did a good job. They made everything natural. They picked the right cast, you know, the perfect location, everything. They did a good job. To me, this movie was on point. They did well. The acting was normal. It was natural. You know, it's just okay, let me talk about Dion's mom. She played the role of a mother very, very, very well. She's just like our day-to-day mom who's going to get worried if anything goes wrong with her child. You know, when she noticed that Dion had those powers and he could not control it, she was trying to, you know, seek for help. She was trying to protect him. You know, she was trying to talk to people, and that's what a normal mother should do. She played that role very well. She executed it perfectly. Let's talk about costume. I like the fact that the costume was just simple. It was not heavy. You know, unlike other superhero movies where, you know, the superhero has to wear a costume. They knew that, oh, this person is a kid. Let's just let him go with the flow. You know, the costume was not heavy. It was simple. I just like the fact that they planned everything very well. For me, the directing was cool. It was good. The directors did a good job, you know, casting and everything. Now, when it comes to rating, I'm going to give that movie a 6/10. Reasons being that season 2 is not out yet. So we're waiting to see what they have to offer. You know, I feel like we still have more seasons to come, and before we give them a 10 or a 9 or an 8, we need to really see the end of this movie, because there's a whole lot of suspense. Now I want to know what happened, because at the end of the movie, you know, this evil man, the crooked man, like Dion would always call him, had to he entered into the body of another young boy, and this boy is already filled with, should I say hate or anger or something? So he's entering into the boy's body, and this boy already has a mindset about Dion. So we know that season 2 is going to be something else. We're waiting to see what they're going to offer to us. Okay, and the moral lesson of this movie for me is be open. If Dion's father had been open with his wife, like if he had told her what was going on with him from the onset, maybe he wouldn't have died, or maybe they would have found a way around this, or maybe, you know, Dion's mother would have known that, okay, this is what's happening. So when it started happening to Dion, she'll know that, okay, it's from my husband. But she was clueless. She didn't even know what was going on. That was why at some point she thought that he was cheating. And the second moral lesson for me is have a personal relationship with your kids. You know, Dion could talk to his mom. The mom could talk to Dion. She could say, do this, don't do this. Okay, now at some point in the movie, Path, who happened to be Dion's godfather, was trying to make Dion heal him of some sort of sickness or disease that would have killed Dion. And you know, they had this kind of very close relationship. Dion really, really, really loved Path, because he has been there for them. When after Dion's father passed away, he's been there for them. So they had this relationship. And if Dion's mom didn't have a personal relationship with Dion, maybe he wouldn't have listened to her. But guess what? Because they had a personal relationship, they had the bond, you know, they communicate and everything, Dion had to listen to the mom. At first, he acted like, Mom, let's just let me do what I want. She didn't get what was happening until he did something and they had to run. So for me, be open, have a personal relationship with your kids, communicate, and all of that. Now, make sure you go and see this movie. Season 2 is coming out February 1st. Go and see this movie. Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think about the movie. Tell me what you think is going to happen in season 2. I'm going to be in the comment section. I'm going to be reading all of the comments and maybe replying to some. See you when I see you. Bye.
What's happening with Dion? We should figure out how to get it under control.
Mom!